It's time to get zany artsy, time to create like crazy. Draw, paint, sculpt a day with Zany Artsy. It's time to get zany artsy, time to create like crazy. With your host Zanwa, we say voila, it's Zany Artsy. Zany Artsy. Zany Artsy.
And we say quarantine. Welcome back to another episode of Zany Artsy. I'm your host, Zanwa. Well, so today we're going to be doing a whole nother topic. But first, I got to say thank you to all the people that subscribed for many years. All I had was what? Just 8 people. But I must say, thanks to those 8 people that have supported me over the 12 years of my little existing channel. Again, thank you to my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the content because I try to bring you all as much entertainment as possible in this wonderful time of quarantine. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a new topic. It's one of my favorites, as is what I do with every drawing that I do nowadays. It's called shading. The shade of it all. Shade. So, this is pretty simple. As I said in my last one, you just need the basic tools. Alright? So, you're going to need, of course, your pencil, because we're going to be doing shading, just basic shading, black and white, no color. I'm sorry. That'll be another episode. So, first things first, you're going to have your pencil, your eraser, and of course, paper. Blank paper. Alright? That's it. So, all you gotta do is sit back, follow along, and remember this. Listen very carefully. Because if you miss out on those few important points, you're gonna end up with a little bit of a flubber. But that's besides the point. So, let's get to it.
So here we have a drawing that was already done. It's a simple circle with a line going through it. The circle can be achieved by a circular object. As you can see, I have it on another sheet of paper. That way, when I'm shading, it doesn't pick up as many ridges from the board that I'm drawing on top of. So, first things first, get a nice light pencil. I'm just doing the top coat. Over here is the sun. Okay, the sun is reflecting light on this area of the ball. So it's basically a ball on a table. So when I'm shading, I'm just going to go in one direction, left to right, left to right. So now I'm applying just a little bit of force, putting in that tiny little bit of shading. I'm just doing it lightly as to fill in the area, because the ball is colored, but as I said, it's a black and white, so not going to really show any color at all. So as you can see, I'm going in a left to right movement, going, because it's best to do shading in one direction. That way everything can get to blend properly. So this will take a little bit of time, as this is a real time video. I'm not speeding it up. I want you to see, I'm not putting in that movie magic. I just want you to see every little detail as it happens. So I'm making sure to not go outside of the lines, because with any regular everyday coloring or shading, you want to make sure that you don't distort the shape in any way. So just filling in these little ridges right here, being very careful with my pencil so as not to go outside the lines. You can change direction with the pencil when you get closer to the edge area. Alright, so while I finish shading this little piece here, you can always listen to the musical humming stylings of Zanwa. Shading, Shading with the shading. I'm filling all the curves. I'm shading. Alright, so yeah, I did have a little bit that went outside of the circle, so I'm just neatening those areas. You want, when you're doing your shading, your shaded areas to be clean and crisp. So now I'm going to start adding some darker tones. This is where I changed my pencil to a stronger one. I'm using a 5B for this. First one was a regular HB pencil. So I'm going to go right along the curve because, as you know, the light is on the opposite side. So the area where there is no light present, it's going to make it darker. And as you're going towards the light area, you release the pressure off your pencil. So again, you maintain your left to right movement, changing the movement of the pencil a little bit. That way you don't go outside the edges. I'm just highlighting the edge of the ball right now. And this is where you add more pressure to your pencil. You want to bring out all that strong tone, but not too strong a tone, because you don't want it turning into a full-blown shadow. You want to have that little idea that it is something that you can pick right off the paper. So this, I'm not gonna lie, takes a little bit of while. So let's just continue again with my musical stylings of darkness, filling up my lack of light, filling up the lack of light. As you can see, I keep going in my one direction. As I said before, it helps to keep a proper blend, whether you're using pencil or pencil crayon. This type of shading definitely will not work with marker, but it's perfect if you're using your pencil and pencil crayons. Wax crayons, not so much. Not wax crayons is highly not recommended for shading, as yeah, that's just too much work. So still shading. As I said, this one will be in real time because I don't want you to miss any of the details. Okay. Ignore the time skip. Again, this is being taped on a blue phone. I'm working with what it gives me. So there was a bit of a light shift because my studio is outside on my veranda. That's the only space I got. Again, budget. So you work with what you can. So now this is shade on shade. So I'm still following along the corners of the ball. I'm trying to give the effect of a ball on a table. So you want to go carry some of the darkness under the ball area, because wherever the ball is making contact, more than likely there's less light in that area. So you want to keep on imitating that area as best as possible. So bring the darkness down to the bottom area. Keep going in your one direction of shading, left to right. It's a simple flick of the wrist. You don't want to put too much pressure on your wrist area, so keep a slight rhythm. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And just make sure to fill any little areas that probably has a crack in the darkness. Fill those in, especially in the darker areas. You want to give that nice effect in the end. Alright, and then as you're going closer to the area that the light would have been catching, you release some of the pressure on the pencil. So where there's no light source hitting, you go darker. Where there's light, you go a little bit lighter. This technique that I'm using now is called smudging. I'm basically using my finger as a tool in order to spread the lead of the pencil, smoothing it out in a way, giving it that nice 3D look. Alright, So we finished with the first stage. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of light area because I kind of went a tops, just a tops dark on this area. So I'm just taking out some of that darkness. Then what I'm gonna, so there, just use my eraser to take out some of the darkness, then filling it in with the residue that's left on my finger. Yeah, don't ever wipe off that residue. That residue comes in handy. It's like a extra pencil. So I'm just using the eraser again to add a little bit more effect, take out some of the dark that I had applied, and smudging against that area where the light meets the dark. Sometimes it's good to go in a circular motion to get a nice blend. All right, so now I'm gonna go on to another area. Okay, let me get so right now I'm gonna be showing the shadow that's on the table because as I said, this is a ball on a table. So I'm just drawing imitation of what the shadow would look like. A shadow is usually elongated depending on the angle of the sun. So I'm just doing a imitation because as I said, I'm not looking on anything. This is just imaginative shading. I'm shading it out of my mind based off of the several years of shading inanimate objects. So where the area of the shadow meets the ball, that will be the darkest area. You want to, because you want to make sure that you show that it's resting on a surface. So you go as dark as possible. So this is where, oh, and by the way, I'm using a 6B pencil. It's darker than a 5B. So I'm applying a lot of stress in the earliest part. Now I'm just taking my time and releasing some of the pressure off the pencil point. As you can see, still going in one direction. Want to make sure that the shadow goes exactly under the bottom of the ball area. So just going to carry this out a little bit more. Fill it in, fill it in. So as I said, I want you to see this in real time. Don't want you missing too much. All right, so as we're going further out from the area that is under the ball, you will lessen the pressure of the pencil point so that it gets lighter and lighter, that it goes away from the ball area. So we're just giving it, again, as I said, art imitates life. So we're just giving the effect that the shadow is on the table because the sun is on the opposite side. So when you're doing your realistic shading, you have to take that into consideration. Look for the darks, look for the lights, and look for the medium areas in everything and imitate it as best as possible. So I'm just filling out that little area. So shadow area is complete. But I don't want to make it look a bit too sharp. Just fixing that little part. Yeah. Okay, and now I'm gonna take the eraser and just dab. Dab, dab, dab. Dab, dab, dab. Yeah, I'm just dabbing out some of the dark area. I'm giving it a nice fade. Alright, so I'm using my finger again to smudge in some of the tones and darkness and the shadows. I'm just spreading it a little bit more so it looks as if the shadow fades as it goes further away. So now I'm going to finish it off with a nice strong curvature of light. You want to follow the shape with the light area. You want to give that little idea of light reflecting on the surface. Well, if it's a rough surface, you would not use this, but being that I'm imitating a smooth ball on a surface, I want to be given the idea that it's reflecting light. All right, so we're finished with the main area. Now I'm going to just add a little bit of shadows to the area that I consider the table. All right. So yeah, that's complete. Bam. Now to the table. Here we go. So I'm just gonna go in my regular one direction. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. I had to find a comfortable angle to do this because I can't really move the board for taping purposes because usually when I'm drawing, I move my entire work area a lot. So this is for you people. I'm sacrificing my partial comfort. Luckily, I'm flexible, so I can get this in like wow. So you don't want to do it too dark because remember, even though that area of the table is furthest away from this light, you don't want to kill it with too much darkness. So you just do a light shading to kind of give an idea that there's a surface in which this is resting on. So as I said, it's just imitation and imagination. Because I'm not looking off of anything. So you want to carry it from down the bottom, work your way up to the top. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now I'm reaching to the top. Yes. Now, again, as I said, that residue that you have on your finger still comes in handy. Just take your time and smudge in one direction. You can, or any direction. Just smudge it. Give it a nice fade. And carry it out to the white areas so that it eventually blends into the white. And this is basically it. Yes, you can do more shading if you wish. You can add more things to the background. As you can see, that's my finger with the residue. You can add more things to the background if you wish. But till then, this is it. Now for theme music. Dum da dum da dum 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 shading shading dum da dum 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 shade.
Woo, that was a task. All right. So I hope that y'all got the idea now of how to properly shade your work. This is just mainly imaginative shading. I ain't gonna lie, all that shading came out of this head. So you can actually use this as a way to do shading in real life. We'll do that on another topic when I figure out the schematics. But hope you like this video. Remember to like and subscribe and tune in again for another episode of Zany Artsy. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, had to change the theme music because a little bit of YouTube problem. Naughty, naughty. But that's besides the point. I'm gonna get it all nice and auto-tuned when I get out of quarantine. Won't you let me get out of this? Yeah. But till then, we work with our lovely low-budget productions. Because as I always say, budget. So tune in next time to another wonderful episode of Zany Artsy. Zany Artsy. Zany, 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 zany Artsy. Bye. Yeah.
It's time to get zany artsy. Time to create like crazy. Draw, paint, sculpt a day with Zany Artsy. It's time to get Zany Artsy. Time to create like crazy. With your host Zanwa, we say voila, it's Zany Artsy. Zany Artsy. Zany Artsy.
I ain't got no more Netflix to watch.